This mini-lecture will give you information about the introductory speech. The introductory speech is designed to allow all students the opportunity to introduce themselves to the class for the purpose of audience analysis and a first speech. This is our opportunity to get to know a little bit more about you. The requirements for the speech is that it be 2 to 4 minutes. You will also be required to submit an outline. The outline will be submitted to the Dropbox in D2L, and the speech will be recorded or uploaded to MediaShare. The outline should contain a topic, a specific purpose, and a central idea. There should be an introduction with an attention getter as well as a preview of your main points. The body of your speech should be 2 to 3 main points, and of course it would have supporting subpoints. The conclusion will contain a summary of what the speech was about, as well as a closer, some way to help us remember your speech. You would use transitions to link together all parts of the speech. This would mean a transition from the introduction into the body of the speech, transitions between all main points, and then a transition from the body to the conclusion. You should consult the course calendar for due dates for the outline and for the speech. You will notice that they are not both due on the same date. So let's talk a little bit about the outline format. All of this information would be included at the top of your outline. Here you would have your name, your topic. In this example, I'm saying the topic is all about me. Your specific purpose. This is going to be an informative speech, so the specific purpose would be I will inform my audience about me. And then a central idea. The central idea functions just like a thesis statement does if you were writing a paper, and it keeps you focused and keeps your audience focused on exactly what you will be talking about. In this example, the central idea is I want my audience to understand some information about my past, what is happening with me today, and my future goals. I will mention that I have my introductory outline in the module for the introductory speech that is on D2L. I also have my introductory speech that is there that you can watch for reference. So let's talk a little bit about an introduction. The introduction is the first part of your speech. For the introductory speech, your introduction should contain 2 parts. The first is an attention getter. This is some device that you will use to attempt to gain your audience's attention. And there are many different tools that you can use. You could use a story, you could start with a quote, you could start with a joke. Although be careful with jokes, because if you're not funny, they sometimes don't work out so well. You'll notice in my introductory speech that I start with a quote, and you are certainly welcome to do the same thing. The preview of your speech is really your central idea, and it previews or tells what your main points are going to be in your speech. This is very important because it helps set the stage for the listener to have a very clear understanding of what you will be talking about. You would then use a transition statement into the body of your speech, and this is the main part of your speech. You should use main points with supporting subpoints. For this speech, 2 to 3 main points are sufficient. If you choose to use a past, present, and future organizational pattern, you would have 3 main points, but you do not have to use that particular pattern. You could choose to have 2 main points, talking maybe 2 things about yourself that you would like to share with the class. Here I just have a brief example of my introductory speech outline, and again you can find the full outline on D2L. You would want to use transition statements in between your main points to help guide your audience through your speech. The last part is your conclusion. This is where you bring your speech to a close. You would want some statement signaling that you're getting to the end, and then you would want to summarize what you just said. This is, again, could be your central idea. Today I talked to you a little bit about my past, what's going on with me today, and my hopes and dreams for the future. That would be an example of a summary. So you're basically telling us again what you just told us. And the last thing you would have would be some memorable closer or a clincher. This is some way to leave a lasting impact on the audience. It can often be related to the attention getter in the introduction. You will notice in my speech that I use a quote as the attention getter in the introduction, and then I also use a quote as the memorable closer. As I've stated, you're going to want to use transition statements. Transition statements serve as a roadmap for your speech. They tell the audience where you are going and are very critical when you're listening to information as opposed to reading information. You would use them from the introduction to the first main point, between all the main points, and from the body to the conclusion of the speech. Now you would want to refer to the following documents, which you can find on D2L. There is the outline guidelines for the introductory speech and the Introductory Outline-Instructor sample, where I have my introductory outline. You can find these documents in the Speech Resources module under the Introductory Speech Guideline and Resources, and that same module is also available in the week during which the introductory speech is due. I would leave you with this last thought. Have fun with the introductory speech. This is always my favorite speech of the semester because it's an opportunity for us to get to know a little bit about each other. So again, 2 to 4 minutes, follow the outline structure that I am providing to you, and you'll do just fine. I look forward to hearing all of your introductory speeches.